Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. The Buffalo Bills are 9-3, and let's just say that we put on an absolute show on Thanksgiving. And it was funny too, because going into the game, probably each and every single person that was in the career path of being a media head within the whole sports community picked the Bills to lose. And let me tell you what, nothing was more exciting for me than going back and reading some of those cold, freezing ass takes. Music to my damn ears. It was so nice to watch the Buffalo Bills go out on primetime television. By the way, crazy as this was the most watched regular season game in like 24, 25 years. So let's go on ahead and throw out those fears that the Bills can't actually perform on a primetime game away, because that's clearly not it. But guys, this win for us was essentially a giant middle finger to the rest of the world that says, yo, the Buffalo Bills are for real and we are not going anywhere. Welcome to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. As always, your host Dan Mitchell. Guys, in today's video, I really want to talk about some of the signs that happened this past Thursday that suggest that the Buffalo Bills are for real. And that's really the way that I sort of want to take this video. But first, of course, I do want to shout out our sponsor. They are called Tavour. If you like craft beer, rare craft beer, this application actually sends it to your front doorstep whenever you want. All you need to do is download the app, so then Tavour will send the beer right over to your house. And, which makes it even better, the Don Mafia gets a special little hookup. All you got to do when you download the app, type in code Don Mafia and you get an extra $10 off of your first $25 purchase. It's like I'm buying you a beer. Let's just dive into some of these signs. That play when Josh Allen fumbled the ball and then dug it out of a pile of 300-pound men and took it for an additional 3 to 4 yards, that shit right there was a grown-ass man play. Now, I know that Josh was subject to a lot of criticism so far this year, but if anything, what that suggests is that this kid is here to play. He wants to win, and he is going to do whatever it takes in his power to win those games and bring the Buffalo Bills on top. You can take your 300-yard games and throw them out the window. I could give two shits if Josh never throws for a 300-yard game. But you know what I will take? A 9-3 record. And that play alone, I mean, if you just watch it, like, don't get me wrong. When it first happened, I legitimately was about to be like, same old Bills, here we go. But no, he didn't give up. He kept going with it, and he was just resilient, and he just absolutely beasted. That suggested that no matter who the opponent that the Bills play or the defense that Josh Allen faces, he's going out there and he's willing to play. His nerves that were plaguing him during the beginning of the season seem to be out the window, because say that you're not going to be nervous during a Thanksgiving game where over 30 million people are watching. I just have a feeling that you're going to be good the rest of the year, my dude. Let's just do it up. Next is our defense. Holy and let me tell you something, guys. It seems like our defense is getting better week in and week out. It is almost getting scary. Now, don't get me wrong, the Dallas Cowboys did march down the field their very first drive and put 6 on the board. But that seems to be a trend recently. So the teams we face, they score immediately, but then they never score again unless it's garbage time. We realistically had an amazing defensive showing. One of my biggest concerns was going against Zeke. And for some strange reason, the Dallas Cowboys just thought that it would be a good idea to just throw away the rush attack. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Zeke only had 12 carries. And the carries that he did have, he actually did pretty damn good. Had a couple of, big-ass runs against us. But for some reason, they just said, whatever. Let's just let Dak throw for 300 yards. Which, once again, is pointless. As far as our defense was concerned, I really loved what we have done I love Taron Johnson. Oh my God, when that guy is healthy, he is just absolutely lights out. And so then as far as our linebackers are concerned, our linebackers are absolutely amazing. They really are. I mean, with Edmonds, with Matt Milano when he's 100%, I mean, it's really hard for me to find any type of hole on our defense. Let's put it that way. It really is hard for me to find a hole on it. Now, I mean, maybe like a few weeks ago, we were talking about how Starr was, not doing his job or could be a potential issue. But I mean, he basically, quieted all doubters this past Thursday and the game before. I mean, he has proved to be very valuable. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had 2 sacks. He had that fumble. He had that interception. I mean, he's just, I don't know. I mean, I just love it. Now, don't get me wrong. The reason that I'm so pumped about this defense is that the Dallas Cowboys statistically are the best offense in the NFL. And what we did is that we just absolutely took a giant on them, and Dak couldn't do anything. Dak really couldn't do anything. So at the end of the day, I really, really, really like what our matchup is going to be against the Baltimore Ravens this coming Sunday. So now we obviously just need to shout out our receivers. Now, a couple of days back, you probably remember that I said that John Brown was going to eventually start being double teamed. And that's exactly what happened, especially against the Denver Broncos, and then even more so right against the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the league has figured it out. They know that John Brown is Josh Allen's favorite target. Now, a lot of us were concerned that we didn't have a number 1 receiver because John Brown was the only guy that we had. But holy hell, did Cole Beasley step up. That's exactly who we needed Cole Beasley to be. Those 2 receivers that we have right here, ladies and gentlemen, are fantastic offseason additions. Hats off to Bean. Hats off to McDermott. Whatever inspired you to sign both of those men have really made a huge difference within our offense. Because the second that John Brown gets double teamed and gets all that attention, Cole Beasley is consistently getting open. And look at that. He became Josh's new favorite weapon right then and there. So now teams are going to have to start making different preparations here. Because do they want to double team John Brown and then let Cole Beasley light them up? Or do they want to double team Cole Beasley and then let John Brown light them up? I'm sure that they could think of a couple of things to sort of slow that attack down, but it's funny. I mean, just the way that our offense has woken up this past couple of weeks, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. For those of you who didn't know, I did collab with Hashtag Sports. Like a bunch of us fucking did like this super cool video. Someone in the comments called it the Avengers of Bills YouTube, which I thought was the funniest thing ever. But we were all talking about how the way that our offense is operating, like, so the opposing defenses can play man against us and Josh is going to tear them up, or they can play zone against us and Josh is going to tear them up. I mean, our offense is just clicking, and I think a lot of it has to do with that receiving pair that we have with John Brown and Cole Beasley. I mean, we are just completely lights out. The backfield definitely needs a tip to the cap as well. I mean, Singletary just continues to rattle off those very impressive runs. And so the guy just continuously makes plays. And so the week against the Denver Broncos, he did end up finishing with over 100 yards. And while he didn't quite hit that mark as much against the Dallas Cowboys, he was still wildly effective with 60-something yards and making those big chunk plays when we absolutely needed him. Guys, like, as far as our running game is concerned, as long as those two, Frank Gore and Devin Singletary, can stay healthy, then it's just going to be lights out. Because it's really hard for me to say what is the Buffalo Bills offense's identity. And it's tough because you really don't know. Because you watch the Denver Broncos game, and then you will see that we ran the ball a lot. So, okay, so we're a running offense. But then you watch the Dallas Cowboys game where our quarterback throws for almost an 80% completion rate. And then you might say, oh, okay, we're a passing team. So right now we have no idea what we are. but we have weapons on both sides of the spectrum that can give us some type of super identity moving forward. So, guys, all in all, holy hell, what a win. What a win. I am absolutely so pumped. I have been. I tried putting out this video the day after, but I was just still shell-shocked. Like, had no idea that our team would be 9-3. Do me a favor and comment how old you were the last time the Bills were 9-3. Me was 5 years old. I was 5 years old when the Buffalo Bills were 9-3. Besides that, guys, thank you for tuning in to yet another edition of the Dom Mafia Report. It's going to be a long week, so I am definitely planning on putting out a bunch of content leading up to the Ravens game, so that should be exciting. Like I said, I did do a giant collaboration with Hashtag Sports. We had the Cover One podcast, we had the Buffalo Fanatics on there, we had Believers Talk on there. It was just a giant combo of each and every single Bills personality on YouTube talking Bills. So that link is in the description. Say that you haven't seen that video, go watch it. Very informative, very fun. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and stay tuned for some more bangers coming up here soon. Let's go Buffalo.